Megan, how difficult is it to raise 3 kids being a single mom, and how do you deal with the stress?
That is a great question. I think the best way to go about that is your mindset. It starts with that. Because I don't try to see it as being stressful or difficult.
You're always smiling. You're like the happiest person I've ever seen. But I know for a fact, because sometimes you can see in your eyes like, oh, this is one of those days I'm driving forward with this smile. Is there, like, where do you find that inner strength? What just propels you to be that way?
That is also another great question. I think to help me to stay in that state of mind is really just reminding myself of the role that I play for them to model a person that has that capability. Yeah, for my kids. And because that's a really heavy on me at times, because I had grown up in a dysfunctional family dynamic. So seeing that and becoming more aware of that and recovering from it, I want to be able to create
You're
one.
like one of my heroes. That's really no joke, because whenever we came out and we had our big event and this place is packed full of wonderful people and we're out there meditating and having ecstatic dance around a fire for like a 12-hour period, you just, like, that's where I really got to know you again and being reintroduced to you. Mm-hmm. And that energy that you just like flowed out when I was around you, it made me just want that energy more, because I feel like I'm a positive person. And then sometimes, life just beats you up. You have the back hurts, you got a headache, the stresses of life. All of a sudden you got a ton of bills that come in. You're like, oh God, like everything. And then you have the betrayal of false friends. You have people that let you down. And then maybe you let others down too. And then you are down on yourself.
Yes.
And I see you as like this, like really like this hope. Like you are just such a, and this is no exaggeration. Any of y'all that don't know Megan are regulars. Wow. It's something that you have sparked in me to want to be a happier person. And I applaud you in every way. And I want to know your secret in doing that, because I'm not really good at it a lot of times. You know all the rules. Stop. Pause, take a deep breath, meditate, elevate your energies, like hang around the right people. And what are the right people? The ones you can count on, the ones that are lifting you up. And well, that's easier said than done.
It is. At times I've catch myself trying to filter my thoughts with just trying to maintain the positive flow of things. With us being humans, we create that negative bias in our world. And it's crazy on how quickly that will take over. So I try to catch those thoughts or that negative state and try to turn it back into the positive, because there's always good in a situation.
There is always good. Y'all know who, you may know, Yoga Landa. I don't know if I say that right. He was the Indian yogi that came over here. I think it was in the 50s, maybe, and it was last night. One of the guys that helped found one of their communities, not too dissimilar from this, he was saying that no matter how bad your situation is, no matter how irritated you might be in the moment, that you are living in grace. Like, we should be thankful that we're having a stressful time. We should be in full gratitude whenever we think, oh God, I don't want to do this errand. I don't want to go do this thing. Oh, I don't want to go meet new people. Like all these things that just recognize that there's a path that we're on and we are in grace. That really changed my mood last night, because I was a little irritated at a couple of things. And I was like, thanks, dude. Thanks for entering my life for that message right at the exact time that I needed it.
Yes.
And I think that that's I get the same feeling from you when I see you on Sundays or when you come during the week is, wow, is it unbelievable to be surrounded by others? Because there are different points in everybody's life. Like me and Kyle have had this conversation. Like if you are hanging around the wrong people, they just drag you down. They can and they do. And that is why I feel so grateful for our group. We have a beautiful crowd today, and we have Jim, who I love. And I just can't imagine my life now being without you and these other people, especially Steve and Laura. I'm just thankful. And so if you are you're working all day, you're stressed out, you're like, I got to get my kids from here and I got to take them here. Like, what other resources, how do you do it? Like, you have 3 of these kids and you have a full-time job and you just moved.
Yes.
What other resources, what do you do?
I listen to a lot of audiobooks on my time too, that I have by myself. And one that really was a powerful one that really stuck was The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle.
Good book.
Yes, living in the isness of just it is what it is and the acceptance of life. So with the days, I know how they usually flow, and just being in the acceptance of the moment and how things go really keeps that edge off, versus trying to think ahead more. I know we have to plan in certain contexts of things, but really trying to dive off and be in and thinking about the future or even being stuck in the past, that siphons so much energy from this moment. So I just try to stay within right now.
So when you get these negative thoughts and you're using your mind as a filter, how are you catching them? Are you practicing self-awareness so much that you go, bad thought, no, you got to go?
Yes.
How are you doing that?
I definitely, I've been practicing. I feel like I've been on the self-discovery, self-journey for going on 2.5 years now.
Nice.
So yeah, that definitely helps being able to filter, because they don't really come in that much anymore.
Nice.
Yeah, they don't. It's what you're telling yourself with every day when you wake up, and your thoughts create your reality. So if I'm constantly telling myself that I'm not worth it, or I'm a bad mom and stuff like that, that negative stuff will attach to me, and then my kids will feel it off and everybody around me. But if I'm filling myself up with love and them up with love, we're just gonna flow it out to everyone else around us.
So are you saying you try to keep this or practice the art of keeping this recycled energy, whatever you send out the positive, believing and knowing that the positive is going to continue to cycle, and as you find these little negative thoughts, it's kind of like the spin cycle on a washer machine. You're throwing out those bad thoughts. That takes a lot of practice.
Yes, I feel like my smile is a big buffer too. Yeah. So if I'm having a hard time, or I'm struggling with something, or even a thought, I'll try to just crease my cheeks up a little bit, and smiling automatically makes your body start producing those good, happy hormones. So I don't spend much time frowning around here.
That's a really good tool too that most people don't think about. If you can force a smile, one thing that I like to do at night, if I typically go to bed late, and so if I'm finding myself feeling low of energy, I will find something funny to watch for about 10 or 15 minutes, just to change my mindset. It's I can feel that you need to laugh, dude. You need just to crack up laughing. Find something to laugh at. And it is remarkable how those little, to me, and what we talk about on Sundays is we have all these tools available to us. And all we have to do is remember what they are. Hey, laugh. If you're feeling frowny, just start smiling. If you feel like a lot of times, a lot of people want to isolate and they don't want to reach out. Like, just force yourself to go beyond your comfort zone a little bit. Go out and see your friends. Invite them over. Do all these little tiny things. Take a breath. Like, people think breath work is silly.
Right.
Until you start doing it.
Exactly. It makes a world of a difference. And I've even noticed breathing more when I get into those stressful situations, and actually reminding that your breath is your anchor. Your breath is what keeps you grounded. And to create such a good habit with it, and a reminder and the self-awareness of it when you start feeling your heart racing or just the sweaty palms, and just take that, let it go. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's all going to work out.
Remarkable tool. And if everybody, during our moments of, self-doubt or, all these worrying things, if we just pause for just a moment and stopped and just took some breath, take deep breaths and lay down, sit, just pause. What are you thinking about and why? Mm-hmm. It is truly remarkable to tap into your inner self and have conversations. Mm-hmm. Do you do that? Is that one of the ways that you help?
Yes, definitely. I created a new little meditation space in my new house, and I go there and I sit, and I just sit with my thoughts. Sometimes I sit with a mantra, and sometimes I sit with music, but even just sitting there with my eyes closed, and I do that at work, I do that at home, I do that in the car. So you're talking
about like a walking meditation?
Walking, or they have a quiet room at work. So we get to go up there and just sit in a little silent, a little bit darker of a room, and that is really great, and it brings you back, centers you back, especially working in retail when it's the hustle and bustle there. So being able to step away even for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and just closing your eyes and maybe even a body scan, it really helps bring you back to where we're at right now.
Man, that is great. Sometimes I think people must think I am silly, because I will walk around sometimes in the morning and I'll just be rambling to myself. All right, well, we got to do this and that. And then, how does this make you feel? Why do you think you got to do this at this particular moment? Just have these running conversations like my higher self and then all these other slices of my personality. Like, we got to talk stuff out. Mm-hmm. Hey, anxiety, why are you showing up this morning trying to ruin the party? Let's have this conversation with each other, all these entities in here, so we can find the best path to go on as soon as we start doing our thing.
Yes.
I admire you. What made you want to go on this because this is it's not a traditional journey of you saying, I want to be more self-aware. I want to be in tune with my spirit and the infinite energies around me. Like, what threw you on that path in this hustle and bustle life that you're on?
I would say the repeating of a pattern, my paradigm. I became aware of my own paradigm I created, which was the codependent alcoholic dynamic. And not only did I grow up in that alcoholic codependent dynamic, I created it with my partners as well. And then losing them through alcoholism with drinking and driving and jail time, that was my turning point, and realizing that the self-awareness for me, trying to control them or trying to create them because I see their potential and I wanted them to create a better life for themselves. But in turn, it just created a lot of turmoil and struggle within me and my family that I didn't want. And once I became aware that I am the creator of my own life and nobody else is going to determine that, I really took hold and moved into that self-discovery and that self-journey, learning how to communicate better in relationships, and just everything from the breath work. I started doing yoga. I really started just pouring into myself And I haven't looked back. It's
Was that
been
an
wonderful.
epiphany one day? You just said, I have these patterns in my life, and it was like that, or was it over time? What happened?
I think it was over time. The struggle with my youngest son's dad went on for about 6 years. About 4, we were probably fighting almost about him drinking every day. And then when he went to jail, I had enough. I wasn't going to have my kids lose their father again with alcoholism. And so I knew I had to create my own way. And if he was going to align with it, then he would get better and go with the flow. But unfortunately, that's not how it worked out. And for me, though, I'm feeling great just doing it on my own.
Yeah. Well, but what's great about, groups like this is that you don't have to be all alone.
Yes.
Like it was, and I mentioned this to you last Sunday, and I talked about Jim. Like, it's so awesome, and I felt so good that hey, let's go help Megan. Let's all get together and go help her. She is going to have a stressful day. Let's go make it easier on her. And everybody came out and did it in a few hours. And like that, like I was so proud of what we do on Sundays,
yes,
that we were able to come out and do that. I was like, this is why we get together.
Yes.
This is the reason. And
everyone needs their tribe.
Yeah, that's what Dinah says all the time. We got to have our tribe, and I fully believe that because, and I think people come into our lives for a reason. I think you came into my life for a reason, and Jill and Dinah and Steve and Laura and Dean and Ricky and Kyle. Like, man, we together, by recognizing, hey, this is we are kind of a tribe. Mm-hmm. And we're literally on this earth. Why would we not want to help out each other and do simple stuff? Like reach out to your buddy when he's having a hard time. Reaching out to you. Hey, you don't mind if we come help you move in 3 hours, do you?
Yes.
Let's go.
Yes.
Hey, I want to talk to you about how awesome you are on Sunday. Is that okay?
Yes. Yes, the people that you support or that are there to support you and that you surround yourself with definitely make a huge impact on how you can feel on the inside. So I definitely put everybody I needed in place once I was able to take that step away from the toxicity.
I think selfishness can be a really positive thing. Like there's good and bad types of being selfish. And I think being selfish with surrounding yourself with positive people, like I want to be that kind of selfish. I want to treat myself to the people that are going to benefit me and that I can benefit them.
Yes.
And like that's selfish. Like I want to be selfish with my health, like you are.
Yes.
Selfish with our spirituality. I want to be selfish with my time.
Yes. Another word that came up was disciplined.
Yeah.
I like.
Yeah.
So it's like another word of that because you're being disciplined with who you want to surround yourself, what you're listening to, what you're creating in you.
Does that make? It's not a forced thing, like I don't force myself to go to Steve and Laura's to have coffee. I don't force myself to. Me and Jim texts me almost every morning. Like that's not I'm not forcing that flow. I'm just riding with it and not recognizing that other road or that detour of people I don't want to be around.
Right.
I don't know a better way to, like Jim's book, he's talking about getting into the river. I think when you get into the rivers have forks and they go around little islands and they do all these things. And I just kind of want to ride the current, but I don't want to ride the current where it goes and falls off the waterfall over there. I want to go this way. I think that's what you've done in your life over the past couple of years is, hey, I got this. I can choose. I got a paddle. I can move that direction instead of going into the boulders and the crashing rocks and destroying it.
And it takes what you're doing right now today to get you into and onto the right flow of it. of life and to keep on the right flow. Because once you don't, then your boat's going this way and you're not going the right way anymore because you're not staying
it's easy
true
to get
and
off,
disciplined.
It's easy to stop being disciplined though. Like me and Jill for 5 years, I think this is a great example. We have worked out, we just work out. It's just what we do. And I've worked out my entire life. But this past 2 months, we have been so horrible at not working out because, a bunch of reasons, a bunch of just schedule conflicts, like 3 nights a week. There's been my stepson's baseball, so then we couldn't work out then, and then I was busy. Like the schedules, for the first time in many countless years, have just not allowed for us to do that together. And man, like by choice, we were talking about it last night. I'm like, dude, we have just got to figure this out because it's so easy to go, oh, well, it is 7 o'clock. I don't think we need to go to the gym now. You know, hey, would you like some ice cream?
Yes.
Oh, that's what we did last night. We're like, hey.
Yes, that can be very hard sometimes and challenging.
Yeah, and I think we need to have good friends and be good spouses and be, hey, like Kyle's doing the 70, what was it called, Kyle?
Hard 75.
Hard 75. So it's like he has to read so much, do this 2 workouts a day and eat this specific diet. And, well, it's probably really important for him to have friends that encourage him to help him do his thing. It would be really rude if, when we're done, hey, Kyle, you want to run down to the pizza joint? You can watch us eat. That would be really rude, right?
Yeah.
Instead of, supporting him in his endeavor. It's all in who we hang around and not letting ourselves fall off the wagon, whether that's drinking or eating bad or not taking time to meditate or be with each other.
Yes.
Yeah, you're like one of my personal heroes.
Oh, thank you.
I just love you.
I appreciate
and
that.
I hope everybody really got something great out of us visiting today.
Yes.
For all of y'all at home that are not here today, we are having our orchard. This is where we commune with nature. We get in touch with our food. It is vitally important we have a connection to the energies that go inside of our bodies. Our food does not come from Walmart sprayed with pesticides. I mean, it does. It ends up there. But we have the ability to have food abundance. We have the ability to have total security in so many aspects of our lives. And if you want to participate in that, come out. We're going to be proning for a couple hours. We're going to have a great time. And everybody that helps can have all the apples, peaches, pears, whatever we got when it's time to harvest. So y'all come join us. We'd love to have you. If you need a good tribe, well, come on. And Megan, you rock, man. You rock.
Thanks. You too.